All right, guys. So today we have GameStop earnings. Hold on one second. Bro, I got so many pairs of AirPods now. I don't know which ones are the right ones. AirPods. Maybe them. There we go. That's enough. All right, that works. All right. Today we have GameStop earnings being reported. SPY down a little bit. Although my portfolio still looks like it's up today. Let's get some music playing. Let me know if you can hear the music. Last time I had to share some audio, the music was acting up. What's up, Hannah VB? All right. See GameStop on the right side, down a little bit. Yeah, so my portfolio is still pretty green. That's good. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin's still at 45K, but just under 45,000. All right, so we're gonna do a poll about GameStop. Y'all do me a favor, hit the like button. All right, so will GameStop beat or miss quarter earnings? Vote on that poll. We're gonna do a Twitter poll like we always do also. Can y'all hear the music real quick? Just make sure. Again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button really is what helps us. I'm doing a poll right now asking if GameStop's gonna beat or miss. Vote on that poll. Wait. Alright, so I'm gonna have to delete this poll and redo it. Is there any way to edit it, mute? No, we're just gonna have to delete it. Alright. There we go, gotta share it. Sorry, I'm changing the music. Yeah, crypto's flying right now, which is great. Let me exit out of some of this stuff. We also have C3AI earnings today also. C3 symbol AI. Down slightly, although it's not as down as the rest of the market, I would say. Crypto live. So the real question is, the last couple earnings call, GameStop hasn't done any earnings call. So are they going to do an earnings call this time? I got some espresso today. Let's take a look at the GameStop poll here. Let's take a look at their EPS graph for GameStop. I looked at this not too long ago. Their EPS graph has been pretty stable. So again, here's their EPS graph. It's gotten a little bit better. So EPS, to put it into perspective, is a gauge on how profitable the company is. It's kind of like the company's margins, right? If we look at this, their margins are getting better. That's one thing that you do see here, is that their margins are getting better. Ugh. But yeah, their margins are getting better, so that's positive. You can see their trailing 12-month and their quarterly EPS. Let's take a look at their revenue to see what they're looking like. Like, here's their revenue. Revenue has been slightly decreasing, but their margins are getting better, which means they're becoming more efficient. And hopefully that means optimism for GameStop here. You know, hopefully that means optimism for GameStop. We'll see. But yeah. All right, so far we're 31 beat, 50 miss, 19% as expected. Keep voting. We appreciate it. You can vote on my Twitter poll or my YouTube poll. It's all the same thing, basically. All right, so again, we'll see what C3AI. So GameStop, we'll put this up so you can see what they're expecting here. I think GameStop is expecting what, like a 16-cent loss per share? Let me see. GameStop is expecting a 12-cent loss per share. C3 is expecting 18. All right, so they're expecting a 12-cent loss per share for EPS and revenue expectations of $1.18 billion. All right, so yeah, the full GameStop call is going to be streamed live starting at, let me see what time their earnings call is. Are they doing an earnings call, or are they just doing the same thing they did last time, where they haven't been doing? Is GameStop doing an earnings call this time is the question. That's the real question. I know they're doing their earnings announcement. But the question is, do they have an earnings call today is the real question. Last time, they typically don't have earnings calls. They haven't the last couple of, reports. Check some other sources. I don't think they're doing an earnings call again. Maybe we could pivot to C3AI earnings afterwards. Let's see, GameStop. Yeah, so I guess they're not doing an earnings call again. This is the second or third time they haven't done an earnings call. I don't see it on their site either. So, I wonder what that means. Look at GameStop investor relations. Yeah, so from what I'm finding, they're not doing an earnings call. All right, so people are saying, quote, hedge fund short positions have continued to grow and are now bigger than they were in the run-up to March 2020 dash for cash. Looking at other stuff here. Yeah, I'm kind of looking up on the Reddit forums regarding GameStop. Yeah, we're going to be covering C3AI, Chewy, all that stuff. Let me see when C3AI earnings start. All right, so that's at 5 o'clock today. And again, GameStop scheduled for 4:05, C3AI scheduled for 4:10, Chewy scheduled for 4:10, Viva, ChargePoint scheduled for 4:05 and 4:10 respectively. That's basically all the big ones. This is the last big earnings report really until Netflix is the next big one. We'll see if C3 can boost this a little bit. Also, do me a favor, bump the like button here, team. We appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking at some other pages. Why Google make this chat box so small and odd? John, I think something big will happen on the world soon. John, what do you think next year looks like? I'm not sure. What matters most is, are you put in a position on it? How come there's only about 50 people watching? We'll have hundreds, if not over 1,000, when the actual closing bell happens. We just started the stream not too long ago, so it kind of slowly. The first 100 are the hardest to hit for earnings, and then as we get closer and closer to the closing bell, we'll have more and more and more people here. Probably by the closing bell, we'll have over 1,000 here is my guess, and then they're going to report earnings, and then C3 reports their earnings. So GameStop had a big run up. A lot of people are waiting for SantaCon and that stuff with GameStop to happen. And so it's been kind of squeezing up in anticipation for SantaCon. December 9th. So this upcoming Saturday for SantaCon in New York City. A lot of people are supposed to be dressed up like Roaring Kitty. We'll see. I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm going, you know. We kind of got like a little mini family emergency going on in my home, but hope it. Boring day today, bearish. Yeah, today's definitely bearish in markets. Again, these last two big earnings reports should creep it up a little bit. Apple's completely sideways. My portfolio is actually still pretty green though. C3AI breaking lows, and again, GameStop testing lows. So GameStop really, like, they're gonna act like it's weak, but it's mostly just following the rest of the market. If you look at the SPY on the left, the SPY actually looks a little bit weaker than GameStop does. So again, you can kind of see the SPY starting to break. It's at 455s. There's the SPY crack. Pretty good. You want to help the stream? Hit the like button. Let's try to get over 100 likes if we can. Why? This is supposed to be... I'm sorry. This is supposed to be instrumentals, but for whatever reason, they just didn't want it to be. Is this weird after good numbers today and yesterday? Not necessarily. I mean... Again, you got to think about it from this perspective. All right, so today was just prelim non-farm employment change numbers. So what that means is, like, this upcoming Friday is when the actual unemployment and non-farm payroll numbers come out. And so with that said, this Friday is going to be a really big day for this type of stuff. And so, like, these are just the prelim numbers that came out for non-farm employment today. It doesn't actually mean much until the actual payroll numbers drop the day after tomorrow. That's when the big stuff is going to happen. That's when we'll probably get some big movements here. This is a very small dip. Again, we're at 455s. Like, if you want to see what it really looks like, here's a daily chart. All right, so it's like a lot of the time the bearish traders are so bearish that this whole move will happen, and then when you get something like this, you know, look how small that is on a daily chart. That's today. When you get something like that, they'll be like, aha, see, it's starting. You know, and it's just like, I get it, but you know, come on now, it's a stretch. Market's incredibly strong right now. It has been. I'm not sure if it's going to continue strong, but this year has been really strong. Again, a year ago we were in the 300s. We're at 460s now on the SPY, so we've just been kind of surging up. Tesla starting to dip down a little bit. Tesla at 240, just under 240 now as well. Tesla's had some big moves also. Got up to the 240s. Santa rally starts soon. It depends on what you consider we're already in it. A lot of people are going to consider we're already in a Santa rally. All right, guys, we're at 1477 to get the SPY at 455s. Searching for GameStop numbers. Again, I guess they're not doing a call. I don't know why they wouldn't. Like, you would think with this following that they have. People are saying that GameStop, a lot of people think that GameStop is going to do a strategic acquisition of Bed Bath & Beyond. Again, are they doing a call, though? I'm seeing a lot of back and forth. We'll see if they do a call today. They haven't reported much, which you would think they would schedule it if GameStop was actually doing a call. I don't think they are. I think they're just reporting earnings, which is what they've done for the last 3. So my question is, do they do an actual earnings call? Again, guys, we're patiently waiting here. We still got 30 minutes before the actual earnings drop. C3AI is definitely reported. On the NASDAQ here, we can see their earnings are going to be reported today. But I don't think they're doing a call. But if you look on Twitter, some people are talking about a call. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking, man. I don't see a call. If you guys see a call, let me know. Even many very small companies do some type of earnings call. Yeah, it's odd. But again, you look on GameStop's site, which is going to be where you're going to find it. Let's see. Corporate governance. Talk about Ryan Cohen, Code of Ethics, blah, blah, blah. SEC filings. November 3rd, Statement of Changes of Beneficial Ownership, Newsroom. So, yeah, I don't know if they're going to do a call. I don't think they're going to be honest. But we're going to be here to cover it nonetheless. And so again, we're going to put this up. GameStop expecting 12-cent loss. On 1.18 billion in revenue. Will they hit or miss? We will cover full results as they happen. Put this up on screen so people can see what they're expecting. 12-cent loss per share. GameStop to the moon. See the letter. GameStop had a crazy run leading up to this. So this is actually a really important release. It really is. This is actually a really important release because GameStop had this big, crazy run up in anticipation for it. Yeah, they're going to report it after market close today. It's actually scheduled for, again, 4:10 market time. 4:10 market time. A lot of stuff is reversed on GameStop. Like if you look at the daily chart here, GameStop had this big pop, basically from 12s all the way to 16. Up 25% or so, from $12 to $16, and it's sitting right about 15 now. It's pulled back a little bit, but it's mostly been sideways from this run. If you look at GameStop, like it has had mostly a sideways run. It hasn't done too much since it made the move. It hasn't given back all the gains yet. It's still right around $15, slightly below it, but it's still trying here. And I think with a lot of upcoming hype with GameStop, I think there's still a big chance that it can do something. Why did it time you out, Mark? That's weird. I'm not sure why it timed you out, bro. Sorry, dude. I'll try to fix that. That's very strange. Yeah, I'm not sure why it timed you out there, brother. So sorry about that. Oh, I see why. So you said Benzinga, right? Benzinga's great, but there's a name that I had to time out and ban, and it's not Benzinga, but the name is Ben. I had to time that out and ban that a long time ago. And so with that said, it doesn't allow anybody to say that because we got like a bunch of heavy trolls that showed up a couple months ago that we basically had to stop them by banning B-E-N as a word. And so you just saying Benzinga, made it do it. So sorry, bro. Nothing good. I love Benzinga. I'm friends with Mitch. Mitch is my friend. I probably should get rid of that now. All right, guys. Hey, we're almost there. GameStop at 1470s. Will it bounce back a little bit here? Last earnings, we're doing okay. Again, we're getting closer and closer. We got over 20 minutes left still. We got about 100 people here. Again, let me know. List your numbers in chat. Will GameStop beat or miss their numbers? Again, hit that like button, guys. We appreciate it. GameStop will come to $10 US. Maybe. It's at 14.15 right now. Again, the big hype right now, just to give you some perspective if you're not part of that GameStop community, like what's going on with GameStop. So GameStop started to run. There's like a big movement going on regarding GameStop right now, specifically where people are supposed to dress up like Roaring Kitty, I think is what it was, going to SantaCon, New York City on December 9th, this upcoming Saturday. And so everybody's supposed to dress up going as Roaring Kitty as like a protest or movement. And just the hype on that alone, with along with some other fundamental and technical stuff, has caused GameStop to squeeze up a little bit over the last couple days. Again, if you look at a daily chart, you can kind of see it. Here's the squeeze that started. Prior to the squeeze, it was at just around $12. Since then, it's moved all the way up to around $15 a share. So it has started to move to the upside, started to squeeze up. And a lot of people are saying because of that, this specific earnings call is super relevant, super important for GameStop as a whole, and again, that's what we're watching and waiting. Rockets and stuff too. Yeah, they're gonna dress up as a lot of different things, which they're gonna dress up like GameStop, which is fine. We had some old streams where we were the Rocket too. All right, guys. Again, Tesla hitting 240s right now. I'm drinking espresso. We got 20 plus minutes, and then we got C3AI also. The big one, I think C3 is going to affect the market more, but GameStop's still relevant, still important. Crude falls below $70 a barrel. You guys ready? Amazon news, I heard. Is the hype still there for AI? I think there's definitely still hype. I mean, if you look at NVIDIA right now, again, NVIDIA at 450s. So NVIDIA still had a crazy run up this year. It's pulling back a little bit, but NVIDIA's been in basically the same range. Like, a lot of people that understand the GameStop community should understand NVIDIA as well. You know, and what I mean by that is like, look, so NVIDIA's been in this range on the daily chart, you know, basically since June. You know, June, July, May, June, July. I mean, NVIDIA has been in this range since then. It's towards the top of the range now, but this is basically a daily chart since then. That's basically what it's done. We pulled back a little bit today, so we're like that right now. But yeah, I mean, we're still moving. Is GameStop doing a call or just dropping numbers? I think they're just dropping numbers. I don't see any update for a call. Again, you would think they would do a call, but for whatever reason, they're just not this time. So, again, I'm not sure. You would think they would do a call, but I don't see anything scheduled for it on their site. Again, slap that like button, guys. Hit that like button. We got 100 people here. Hit the like button. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. GameStop's usually a pretty hyped earnings call. But again, I think the problem with GameStop lately has been squeezes have been less prevalent. I think the longer that goes on, people are just getting more skeptical of it. And I hope GameStop goes up. I want it to go up. But, like, you know, I hope it comes in and kills it with these numbers. I hope the squeeze continues to happen and continues to surge up. Any, man, I've been hearing about Any for years. And Any's a terrible looking company. $1.70 stock. Pushing up a little bit the last few days. But, you know, again, if you look at Any here. Again, Any's looking kind of rough. So I just took a little bit off of Snapchat. So we're in Snapchat. I'll probably take a little bit more here. There we go. Beat or miss, guys. Let me know. Okay, we still got 17 minutes left. GameStop numbers are not technically supposed to drop until 4:05 market time as well. So about 5 minutes after the market opens is when the numbers are technically supposed to come out. So there's Any. Again, still looking at GameStop. Yeah, we have some shares. GameStop's not profitable yet. They're trending towards it, though. Like, if you look at GameStop. Again, the easiest way to tell it, here's if you want to see whether they're profitable or not. They're trending towards it. So GameStop specifically is trending towards it. Like, here's the last, how far does this go back? Here is since 2018, right? So since 2018, here's the profitability graph. It's getting better. It's getting better. The last one, the last report, they came in slightly worse than, they came in a slight loss per share at 1 cent. But again, you can kind of see this is trending better, trending better. This time they're expecting a 12-cent loss per share. So this time they're expecting to show up right around here. You know what I mean? Like right around there, 12-cent loss per share. This one was 17 cents, so they're going to come in right around there maybe. You know, if they come in as expected, which again, we'll see. But this is GameStop's EPS, and the EPS is profitability, so it's how profitable the company is. So that's profitability. Real quick though, guys, can y'all hear the music? I want to make sure y'all can actually hear the music. Yeah, I want to make sure y'all can actually hear the music, and so let me know if you can hear them. Any thoughts on AI? Hey, all good, Randy. How about Snap at 11? Any thoughts on AI? I'm a big believer in AI. I think AI is the future of technology. But I also think that, you know, there might be some speed bumps along the way, which is normal. Like EV is a good correlation with it, right? Like EV is the future of automotives. And I think this is a very obvious thing that EV is the future of automotives. What I mean by that is it's just more efficient. EVs are more efficient. They're faster. They mesh better with technology. You know, they're silent. They're faster, they're more efficient, they mesh better with technology. The mileage is typically better. Now there's speed bumps along the way in terms of mining lithium and charging and like all the other complaints that people have. But again, people have a small set, like they have a very narrow mind with that type of stuff, where what they really should understand is that anytime you have something that has that type of efficiency or use, or utility is a better way to say it for AI, over time technology is going to follow it. And I think that's what we're going to see with AI as well. It's going to become more and more used. People are going to become more and more comfortable with it until it's something that we use pretty regularly in a much heavier way than we're using it now. All right, so we got some votes. 47% think they're going to miss. 38% think they're going to beat. 15% think they're going to come in as expected. Again, the GameStop crowd a little bit light today, and that's all right. We can't expect every earnings stream to be good. Again, we'll try to cover the C3 earnings. Tomorrow we also have jobless claims. Friday we have payroll and unemployment data. Then next week we got CPI. We got the FOMC rate hike decision. It's going to be a very busy few weeks here too, heading into the holidays. Let me see. Let me check Market Watch for next week. Okay. Jobless claims, retail sales Thursday, FOMC rate decision, press conference Wednesday. Next week is what I mean. Yeah, GameStop started to bounce a little bit. We got some shares here too. Nvidia down at 460 or 457. So Nvidia is looking weak. We can also look at C3AI. Again, this is a big AI company in the, you know, as AI starts to become big, we got C3 here. It's still pretty quiet awaiting this earnings call, team. It really is. It's still kind of quiet. Again, I don't think they're going to do an actual call, though. A lot of people are talking about Ryan Cohen speaking, but I don't see a call scheduled anywhere. Again, if you guys know me, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Do y'all see a call anywhere? I know they drop earnings today, but they never actually confirmed their earnings drop, number one, and they never actually... I don't see an actual scheduled call anywhere regarding GameStop. Anywhere. So again, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't see it. I don't see an earnings call anywhere. Hey, what's up, Bulldog? Yeah, bro, we're staying warm, man. As warm as we can. I mean, it's not honestly really cold here anymore. It'll get there, but it's not there right now. All right, guys. Hey, we got less than 10 minutes left. We got about 9 minutes left. Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on what they show up as. I think a lot of people are hyped, and so I think GameStop's one of those companies in which they can do well even if they don't do well, right? I think the stock can react favorably even if they falter in terms of earnings. You know, I think GameStop's just one of those companies that can do well even if they don't, you know? Yeah, I mean, again, sometimes you got to get worse before you get better. It's not going to consistently be better and better and better. Like, that's not sometimes a reasonable expectation. I think you have to understand the nuance of it, in which, like, you got to look at long-term trend, not just quarter to quarter. If you look quarter to quarter, they fluctuate heavily, but when you zoom out, since 2018, they've been coming more profitable than before. So they've been getting better over time, and it is the easier way to put it. Like, if you look at it quarter to quarter here, you know what I mean? We could zoom in here and see, like, right now, last quarter, they only lost 1 cent a share. Previous, they lost 17. Previous, they made 16 cents. Previous, they lost 31, 36, 52, 50, 35. And then again, you just keep zooming out. You can see their losses per quarter are getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And I think that's an optimistic, positive thing for GameStop. And again, we're in GameStop right now. We're holding GameStop. We want it to go up, of course. And again, we'll see if they do or not. We also have C3 earnings dropping after the closing bell. And so we do have a lot of stuff showing up. And again, we'll see if we get anything good. We got Ryan Cohen as the new CEO. I don't think they're doing a call, though. All right, so again, you can kind of see AI breaking the lows here. So C3, the other big one people are watching, they are actually expecting an 18-cent loss per share, whereas GameStop is expecting a 12-cent loss per share on $1.18 billion in revenue. C3AI is expecting an 18-cent loss per share on $74.3 million in revenue. So that's what we're kind of looking up now. We still got about 7 minutes left until the closing bell. Well, GameStop has a site that people are actually pretty loyal to. So the fourth quarter of fiscal year of 2022, they posted $48.2 million in profit. I'm trying to see if there's any information on their website. And again, they're starting to consolidate a little bit here with GameStop. You're sitting at 1474. So yeah, we got a lot to watch here, team. We really do. Doug Polk made a post. Little tip from someone who has investigated a lot of scams over the years: if you see a private jet, run. You know, run for the hills. Yeah, I guess I could agree with Doug. All right, team. You got any place for earnings at close? Yeah, watch C3AI, bro. I'm telling you, C3AI is going to be the biggest one. Again, it's a little quiet in here for earnings. It really is, relative to what we usually do for earnings, but that's okay. Again, we got about 4 minutes until the closing bell, about You know, the actual earnings call is not going to be... I don't know if they're doing an earnings call. I hope they do. But again, I don't see them scheduling an earnings call for GameStop. But you look at GameStop.com. GameStop earnings call. I don't see anything about GameStop earnings. I see, even on the website, the investor relations site, which is typically where they're found, they didn't announce whether they were going to do an actual earnings call today. You can look everywhere else. You can look here and see recent reports isn't there. Quarterly results isn't there yet. And so we're just going to have to wait and see if they even post a link. But this is probably meaning that they're not going to be doing an earnings call today. This probably means they're not going to be doing a call. Again, I hope they do, right? Like, it's better for me as a analyst that they do an earnings call, but I just don't think they're going to. Again, slap that like button, guys. Listen, we got 20 likes here. We got 200 people here. Like, do it now. Try it one time. Might feel good. We got 41 likes. I'm sorry. We got more than that now. But again, we could get 100 if we need it. Hey, what's up, Manny? Yeah, 1.18 billion in revenue with a B. Billion with a B. We get much bigger revenue than like C3AI even. You know what I mean? So like, they're trying. They got to fix their margins a little bit, but they're doing it. You know, they're trying. All right, guys, we got 2.5 minutes until the closing bell. Again, GameStop's scheduled technically to release their earnings. All right, team. Hey, we got 200 people here. Changed my life. Might go long as C3 leap costs too. Why buying GameStop? Because it's not about whether you think GameStop is going to succeed long term. What it's about is a potential squeeze, because again, a lot of hype, a lot of potential squeezes has already happened with GameStop. Again, look at GameStop here. All right, like look at GameStop here. GameStop has had a nice little bump on. If you look at a daily chart, you'll see it. GameStop, with the hype of people going to SantaCon dressed up as Roaring Kitty and rockets and all this other stuff, GameStop has bounced. You know, it's bounced at $12. It's all the way up to $15 a share basically right now. It dipped a little bit today, but that's all right. It is bouncing up a little bit. It is having some upward strength and movement here, right? So I think, again, that's something to get hyped up about. That's something to, you know, potentially get a squeeze for. And you know, the community, the ape community, is very supportive of GameStop, and so we're trying to put them on our back and ride it up. Again, the closing bell's in less than a minute. Hitting the like button changed my life. Hey, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it looks like people are just less interested in GameStop earnings today, though, is what it looks like. People are just less interested in it. All right, guys, there's the closing bell. The market is closed. Let's get ready for GameStop and C3 earnings. I'm going to be reporting them right here. We got Coinbase CEO saying international expansion is at the top of its mind. McDonald's CEO saying it's a little bit weird to make any predictions for next year, as we're continuing to see that consumer has been very resilient. White House's Kirby says we are watching the worrisome burgeoning defense relationship between Iran and Russia. But let's get ready. GameStop up to almost $15 back after the close just now. 1490s is where GameStop currently has 1490s. All right, guys, watch GameStop here. We're also got to watch C3AI. Again, GameStop technically scheduled for 4:05 in 4 minutes. Here, we'll put a timer up. We got about 300 people here. GameStop below 12. Put out your last minute predictions. Again, GameStop technically scheduled for release at 4:05 in about 4.5 minutes. Or no, 3.5 minutes, I mean. 3.5 minutes for GameStop. C3AI scheduled for 4:10 market time. 4:10 market time. Again, GameStop almost to $15 a share. The real question is C3AI going to influence tech enough to cause any volatility? C3AI popping up a little bit. GameStop moving some right now. GameStop at almost $15 a share. Not moving a ton, but moving a little bit in anticipation of their earnings report. GameStop reports feed picks. I like here if this year's quarter 3 is better than last year's quarter 3. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. What did last year's quarter 3 do? Time for a market crash? Market crashes are overpredicted, brother. They're simply overpredicted. Everybody thinks the market's going to crash. Very rarely does it. I don't know how many people have come to my stream and told me a market crash was imminent over the last 5 years. Very rarely are they ever right. Most of the time they're wildly wrong, and then you just never see them again. They get influenced by the media and politics and crash predictors like Michael Burry and, you know, a bunch of YouTubers telling everybody the market's going to crash because it's easier to get clicks if you do. That's usually what happens. And then when they're wrong, they get mad at the people that were right about it. It just starts this really toxic cycle. Overarching point I'm trying to make is, like, we're nowhere near a crash yet. I'm not saying we're not going to hit one, but I'm a broken record saying the same thing over and over again. $12 into the week. Chewy earnings. Oh, yeah, we do have Chewy earnings as well here, team. Chewy dropping at 410 as well. Chewy earnings. You know, if you don't know Chewy, Ryan Cohen, the current CEO of GameStop, founded Chewy. He was the CEO until 2018. All right, here we go. C3AI dropping soon. GameStop, we got 1 minute, team. 1 minute. We got 1 minute, team. You guys ready? It's time for GameStop earnings. You guys ready? 45 seconds, guys. 45 seconds. GameStop up to almost $15 a share in anticipation of their earnings report. $30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. %46% think they're going to beat. Yeah, poll did change quick. Will there be an acquisition? I'm not sure. All right, GameStop, guys, trending up. It's at $15 a share, $15.09 a share in anticipation of earnings. I don't see the earnings actually out yet, but let me get ready. All right, there's 5 o'clock, or there's 5 after. This is when they're technically scheduled to release. GameStop posted a quarter loss of 1 cent a share, better than expected. A third quarter loss of 1 cent a share. Third quarter sales of $1.08 billion. $1.08 billion, a miss in terms of sales. Their sales came in under expected. They only posted a quarter 3 loss of 1 cent per share versus a 12 cent per share estimate. 8 cent per share estimate in some locations. Lower revenue than expected, higher than expected, better than expected EPS. We'll put the numbers up on screen so you can see it. But again, there's the GameStop numbers. Again, they are dropping pretty fast here on this report. Again, typically revenue is a bigger influence over market action than EPS, and revenue did miss by a decent margin. They came in at 1 cent loss per share versus 8 cent loss per share estimates. Again, revenue of 1.08 billion versus 1.18 billion expected. So they ended up coming in lower than expected for revenue, and that's most likely causing these declines here. That's my guess, is it's most likely causing these declines. Yeah, C3AI numbers, we're still waiting for them to drop. Still waiting for C3. I don't think GameStop's doing an earnings call today. Let me check the website. The numbers are out. All right, so GameStop numbers are out. They did miss. They are bouncing back up a little bit, but again, they posted a 1 cent loss per share versus 8 cents expected. GameStop starting to bounce up. C3 looks like they might be out with their numbers. They're at $30 a share here. $30 a share for C3AI earnings. GameStop starting to head up a little bit here, team. Again, they did post Chewy. 410. Again, GameStop starting to creep back down. I don't think GameStop's doing an earnings call today. I just don't. Yeah, I don't see any call statements or anything like that here. So yeah, GameStop, no earnings call statements that I see here. We got C3AI. Again, they came in at 1.078 billion versus 1.186 billion in the previous year's quarter. Net loss was 3.1 million for the period compared to a net loss of 94.7 million for the prior year's third quarter, so much better than the prior year. Cash equivalents, and marketable securities were 1.21 billion. And again, I don't think they're doing an earnings call that I can find here. Chewy. Again, C3AI ripping up too. Yeah, Chewy's down a lot. They must have released their numbers already. C3 hasn't dropped theirs yet. All right, guys. All right, guys. So again, GameStop is now down a little bit. We're still waiting for C3AI numbers. So again, bear with me here, team. Again, I don't think GameStop's doing an actual earnings call this year, team. So they didn't do one the last couple quarters. I don't think they're doing one here either. So it is what it is. All right, team. So again, C3AI just dropped. C3AI just dropped their earnings here, team. C3 hasn't released there yet. We're still waiting for them to report for C3, symbol AI. Still waiting for C3AI numbers to come out. Yeah, that door's a little off. Again, they're not going to be holding a conference. Additional info can be found. So yeah, AI. We're waiting for AI numbers to drop. We're just not out with theirs yet. Yeah, C3's not out with theirs yet, team. Chewy is going up. Let's see. So here's Chewy. Yeah, Chewy's going down big. And so again, GameStop's not holding an earnings call today, guys. They're not going to be holding a call. No, sorry. That's my wife trying to open up. That's my wife trying to open up my door. Need some grease, some WD-40 or something. All right, guys. So again, no C3AI earnings yet. So C3 has not released their numbers yet. We're all anticipating this now, waiting for it to happen. GameStop now. Again, C3 on the left. We got GameStop on the right. C3 has not moved yet. Again, a lot of people still waiting for C3 numbers to come out. C3 numbers were supposed to drop 2 minutes ago, but nothing yet. Chewy numbers are out. Chewy posted a adjusted EPS profit of 15 cents per share, sales of 2.74 billion. Chewy expected 6-cent loss per share, so the 15-cent profit per share is pretty good. Although I'm not sure why they're down. They posted sales of 2.74 billion for Chewy. They expected 2.76, so a slight miss in revenue or sales for Chewy, and that's probably what's dropping them. Again, still no C3AI results. We're still kind of sitting by waiting for these results to come out. C3AI earnings call is supposed to start at 5 p.m., and so we are going to stream that live when it happens. But again, as we wait here, we got to kind of sit. Again, GameStop on the right still hasn't done much. Let's switch to C3AI earnings. And then probably just stream that call depending on how many show up for it. Again, C3, you'll notice when they move, they just haven't moved yet, which is interesting. Again, what are your predictions for David Reeder is going to join Chewy as the CFO. The board approved David Reeder as the CFO and principal financial officer. So, a new financial officer for Chewy. Still waiting for C3AI numbers. Again, GameStop out with theirs. Yeah, they're not doing a call. Who's a better CEO, AA Ron or Ryan Cohen? I don't know. Who do you got as better CEO in chat? Again, GameStop started to head up. It's at 1549s, though. We're still looking at Chewy here. Again, Chewy at 17.7. So Chewy consolidating around lows. I'm actually in Chewy right now. I've been holding this one for a minute. Yeah, I go with the RC for sure. Cohen is definitely better, in my opinion, than AA Ron. Yes, I can see the message, Corey. No, I'm just AI, bro. I'm not a real person. I'm just an artificial intelligence bot, dude. Just here, talking up a storm, sir. Again, y'all hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Again, we're going to cover the full C3AI earnings as well. Doesn't look like they're doing a GameStop call today, which is all right, I guess. I'm looking at Twitter. Yeah, I was hoping we would get more of a interest to this, but again, they're just not doing a call. I wonder why GameStop stopped doing a call. Something to say about high post-market volume. I mean, none of these have very high post-market volume. Most of these are very low volume relative to most earnings reports. We cover all the big boys. We usually get tens of thousands of views for like the big ones. But this one's incredibly slow right now, and the volume in terms of earnings reports has been slow. We're still waiting for C3AI. I'm not sure what's going on there for C3. Again, C3 is supposed to drop theirs at 4:10 market time, so they were supposed to report theirs, 7 minutes ago. The actual earnings call for C3 is not until 5 p.m., so it's still still got like 40 minutes left until the actual earnings call for it. Yeah, so the webcast is supposed to be at 5 p.m. for C3. We're waiting for it. We're gonna stream it, but
Good day.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, hold on. This is not the right one. Q2. Okay, I think this is the right one. Okay, yeah, here it is. I think they haven't started yet, though. Let me make sure. Okay, so yeah, we're still waiting. It's supposed to be at, 45 minutes. Win Lambo. Bull flag. Yeah, I mean, I hope it breaks to the upside. I'm in GameStop right now. I hope it breaks to the upside. C3, we're still waiting for their earnings to come out. They still haven't dropped theirs, which is interesting. At least not that I'm showing up here. Let me see. So I see the earnings call scheduled for C3, but I don't see the actual... I don't see the actual report, so they're late on their report for earnings. Still nothing yet. All they have is the earnings webcast scheduled. Still waiting, but there's no real reports yet for C3. So again, it's up a little bit, but we're still waiting on earnings. Alright, so we should see a pretty big move where the earnings are actually reported, but again, GameStop started to bounce up. It's at 1520s right now for GameStop, so it's starting to move up at 1520s. Bought a few calls. Yeah, GameStop's ripping up. I'm in GameStop right now, and I really do hope it goes up right now. So you love to see it. GameStop's starting to rip. Yeah, a little bit late. Again, interesting here. We're covering some of the GameStop trends that's going on right now. Again, they're not doing an earnings call. They missed 1 cent per share, or they beat on 1 cent per share loss versus like a 8 or 12 cent loss per share expected. They had worse than expected sales or revenue numbers at 1.18 billion expected. They only showed 1.08 billion, but hey, it's starting to rip, and I'm for it. I'm happy about it. I'm in it right now. I hope it goes up. And again, next we got C3AI earnings about to play out. Again, we're going to stream the 4 earnings call. We're still waiting for C3 to actually drop, though. Like, the numbers aren't out for C3AI. We're waiting. We see no volatility from C3 right now. We're not seeing any movement here at all. And so we're just kind of sitting, waiting. Still waiting for C3. GameStop didn't do an actual call, so patiently waiting here. GameStop now dipped under $15 a share. It's still right at that previous closing price. C3 is slow. It's very weird, man. I know we're not in earnings season, so like the volume's a little bit lighter relative to other earnings seasons, I'll say. But what's going on, C3? All right, C3 got a little bounce. It's at 29.50s. All right, C3 got a little pop. It's at 29.69. So let's see if I don't think this is the actual earnings out though. I think I would have seen this. C3 is a pretty big company. It's not a huge company. It's not like some big blue chip company, but it's a larger company to which you would think the numbers were out already. Again, they're pretty late, man. This was scheduled to release at 4:10, and now it's almost 4:30 and nothing. So if anybody, the call is at 5. Maybe they're waiting for the call to show up. Maybe that they think that'll drive. Again, when we look on their site here, I'm checking on C3's site. The call is scheduled. So Q2 earnings is what C3 is. So this is Q2 earnings, right? So the call is scheduled. But they have no update on the actual reports. You see no annual report, no press release, no earnings webcast, no earnings presentation. So all we have is the earnings webcast scheduled. And again, we're going to show you guys that. We're going to stream that live as it happens. But we're still just kind of sitting here waiting for C3 to drop. Kind of odd that they're this late. But hey, all good, I guess. So we just got to be patient here and wait. Yeah, GameStop dipped all the way back down under 15. It's back up to the 200 EMA, testing it now. I refinanced my house to dump everything on GameStop calls. I mean, do what you do, bro. I hope it goes up for you. I'm in it. I'm long in GameStop, but I'm not about to refinance my house, brother. You know, I mean, do what you do. I hope you're right. I hope you prove me wrong, bro. I just don't know if that's necessarily responsible, especially on something as speculative as GameStop, which is not the most sound fundamental company, but has a lot of squeeze and hype potential. But, you know, I mean, I hope the hedge funds pay. I'm for it. I hope you win, bro. But just be careful, man. You know, I'm not refinancing my house unless it's a sure thing. And I don't know if anything right now is a sure thing. Chewy still sitting at 1770s. Okay, nah, bro, just messing around. Okay, good, man. I was gonna say, brother, like, listen, I like GameStop. But am I going to refinance my house to buy anything? No, of course not. Nobody should, you know. Squeeze potential is a fundamental in my opinion. I mean, when people reference fundamental, most of the time they're talking about long-term company health and income, you know. Squeeze potential, I would say, is more a technical nuance than a fundamental nuance, you know, meaning that technical wise, you can have some nuance to cause a squeeze, like too many people aggressively shorting it. I guess you could consider that fundamental. So, I mean, I understand your point, but my point is, I would just be careful, because if Dumb Money the movie and the whole, again, I streamed AMC GameStop squeezes as they happened live in 2020. I was streaming it live when it happened. It might have been 2020 or 21? It feels like so long ago. I was streaming it live, holding GameStop and AMC. Like, I want them to go up. But if that movement taught us anything, it's that big money protects big money. And so, you know, I would just only trade what you're willing to lose, you know, and hopefully, you know, you won't, but, you know. Refinance into a 7% loan from 3%, yeah. Yeah, interest rates are so freaking high right now, man. Nobody wants to buy a mortgage, dude. I'm definitely not. Yeah, earnings are in 33 minutes. I don't know when earnings are. I hope they're soon, but they were supposed to drop. Like I said, they were supposed to. I'm hoping my theory right now is that they're going to drop at 4:30 in 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes. But again, I might be wrong. There's no actual set time for this to drop, so we'll see. I hope C3 has good ER, and if they do, then hopefully that'll push tech up and AI in general. But again, C3 is already late, which I don't necessarily know is a good sign. Yeah, GameStop's starting to head back up. GameStop is technically green on the day. Here, technically green on the day. Here's the previous close. It's technically green on the day. That light blue line is the red to green level, green to red level. So we're technically green. Again, C3 is expecting 18-cent loss per share on 74.33 million in rev. Again, y'all slap that like button. Listen, we got over 400 people here. We got 84 likes. We need 16 likes to break 100. I mean, I'm not saying I have OCD, but if you don't, I'll hate you forever. Hit the like button. Try it one time. Aren't they always late? C3's not really. I can't remember. I covered C3 last earnings too. I can't remember if they were late or not. Right, so again, GameStop posting a 1 cent loss per share. They posted sales of 1.08 billion. So still kind of missing a little bit. All right, guys. GameStop completely flat. C3 freaking rigid, silent, boring. Waiting for AI to drop. C3AI right around the lows of the last 20 minutes here. GameStop now technically green again, is back over the previous close. Again, we also had Chewy, just to give you some breakdown here. Here's Chewy. GameStop technically over the red to green level. Here's Chewy. Chewy red on the day, even though they didn't do that bad from what I saw. They didn't do too bad here. AMC at 680s. There's GameStop. GameStop at 1494s, 1495s. All right, so C3 cracking the low, starting to move a little bit, which maybe gives me some hope that the earnings are actually out already. I don't see the actual movement here, but C3 started to move a little bit, again, giving me some hope that hopefully the numbers are out. Look at this big doji candle, up wicks and down wicks. Again, we'll see if we actually move some, but I don't see anything for earnings. All right, so we broke lows of after hours here for C3, but still no earnings, man. Again, I'm wondering whether the C3 is going to actually report these numbers during the call itself. Maybe we're testing the lows of pre-market for C3. GameStop still pretty flat, testing the 200 EMA right now. Still no C3 numbers here. GameStop just made a parallel channel starting 11:29. Yeah, I mean, I see the squeeze that started a week ago for GameStop. You know, I see this here. And I hope it continues. I really do. I hope it moves up. But we'll see. Again, I hope it continues. Earnings weren't bad. I think they could have been worse. And like I said before the actual GameStop earnings, I think GameStop earnings are something in which you could still get upward movement even with bad earnings. And I don't necessarily think these earnings were bad. And so I think it's one thing where we could do better, you know. Yeah, a lot of people are joking with me, waiting for C3. Yeah, I don't know when C3 numbers are coming out. We're here. All right, so again, C3 popped back up here. We're moving back up some. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people talking about GameStop movement here. Again, we're going to wait for C3 here, I guess, because that's what we do, but... I guess C3 numbers aren't dropping here. All right. GameStop's still fighting. Chewy still dipping down a little bit. GameStop's still completely flat. All right, we're at 29.40s here, guys. 29.40s. Still waiting here, guys. Hey, we got about 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. Even though this is a freaking cricket-like boring earnings day. It's boring right out here, guys. We don't have anything going on. It's absolutely boring. We got 400 people here, which is actually pretty light. Typically, we get thousands of people here during these big streams. But nobody cares about GameStop anymore, I think, bro. It's not just me. I checked other streams, too. GameStop's pretty boring, man. Nobody's really watching it. C3AI, I don't think has much hype either. Maybe people are traveling for the holidays. We had more people here this morning. Like, we had like 1,000 people here this morning for the prelim non-farm data, like this morning at 8:30 or at 8:15. And so it's to be honest, surprising that I think since GameStop stopped doing their earnings calls, that's creating much less attention on this right now. I think people are just less interested in GameStop right now, is what it probably is. Hey, thank you, Armchair. All good, brother. All good. Yeah, we cover all the big ones, man. And I consider GameStop and C3 a pretty big earnings call. It's just kind of boring right now. There's just not much going on. GameStop not doing a call. C3 sitting here late reporting. I'm not sure when they're going to come out with their numbers here. Quick question, though. Can y'all hear the music? Can you hear the music playing? Yeah, I don't know what C3AI. My guess is that they're going to try to report it during the actual call, I guess. Did you guys like the new GTA trailer? Maybe I'm getting old, but I'm just less excited for it as I was freaking 10 years ago. I think I'm just getting old. Alright, guys. Hey, we got 19 minutes left. Yes, you can hear it? Okay, good. Hey there, man. Thanks for your service. All good, brother. All good, man. I appreciate the support. No, I haven't, Julian. Sorry, bro. I'm just glad I'm still green in equities, although we're lesser green, but we're green nonetheless. PayPal still nicely green. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess C3 is just going to wait. Like, typically we try to cover these big events. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. If you want to day trade futures, today we did pretty good day trading futures here. This was one of my accounts. We made like 700 plus, like 750 in this account. And what TopStep does, it's if you want to learn day trading, do not put the money up yourself, in my opinion. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I can't guarantee you're gonna, make money. Nobody can. Most day traders lose money, but that's precisely the reason why you should try a funded account program. In futures, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, currencies, gold, silver. The patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. You can basically day trade the SPY and the Q in futures and what's called the E-mini and the NASDAQ. Similar, same price action, but there's no PDT rule. And these funded account programs allow you to get started for base one's $49 on TopStep. They're going to give you a demo, and if you can pass the test, if you can hit 3K in profit without losing 2K in that demo, and following their rules, they fund you the same amount. They fund you 50K with a 90% split. They pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year, fund thousands of traders a year. Great way to help support the channel. We appreciate the love. Thanks for everybody being here. Again, we're going to continue streaming, so stick around. The earnings call starts in about 17 minutes. Still kind of sitting on our toes waiting for C3AI numbers, but they're very late. So yeah, still kind of sitting around waiting here. Again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. So typically the way earnings call works, Billy, is companies will report their earnings typically either in the morning, early at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or in the evening, typically right after the closing bell, right? So companies will report their earnings usually independent to their earnings call. And so like a basic example of this is a company will report their earnings right at the closing bell at 4 p.m., and then shortly afterwards, typically at maybe 45 minutes after their earnings report at like 5 or 5:30, then they do an earnings call where if it's a big enough company, the CEO will get on the line. They'll take investor and analyst questions and all that good stuff, kind of breaking down what their quarter was like, any introductions to new features, new products, new launches during that quarter, plus potentially guidance on what to expect in the following quarters or following year. That's the difference. So again, earnings call drops with it's a filing, right? So an earnings call drops after the report drops. The report is just a file or multiple page document detailing how much they made, how much they lost. It's a financial document. The earnings call is what it sounds like, an actual call. So that's basically where we are now. All right, team. All right, guys. So, hey, we are ready for this report that drops in 15 minutes. This phone call. We are sitting on hold waiting for it to start here. And so, again, nothing going on with C3AI. GameStop still pretty flat. C3 back over the 200 EMA here. Still nothing from C3AI. Watch it for NVIDIA as well. See if they have some like sympathy movement here. But again, still waiting. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We can take a look at C3AI earnings. All right, so here's macro trends EPS graph. So EPS is a gauge on profitability. So if we want to look at what they've done before, prior quarter we lost 56 cents per share for C3AI. Prior one before that was 58 cents. Prior one before that was 57 cents. So here's the EPS graph. So again, they've been pretty flat in terms of EPS, which is again a gauge on profitability. It's margins basically. If we look at revenue, which is kind of like the ceiling, revenue is typically more influential over stocks. Again, so if you take a look at revenue here, if you want to get a big gauge on it, their revenue has been steadily increasing. You know, last time they came in at 720 million. You can see 720 million in revenue for C3. This time they were expecting 74.33 million. So last time they posted 72 million. So this time they're expecting 74.3 million. So they're expecting their highest revenue quarter ever, I believe, this next quarter. Their last highest one was again at about 72 million. This one they're expecting 74.3 million. So again, if that's the situation here, they're expecting their highest revenue quarter. Sorry, my dogs are barking, but yeah, this time they're expecting their highest revenue quarter. And yeah, again, if they hit it, we'll see. Still waiting for C3. They're still pretty late in terms of reporting their numbers. We got 12 minutes before the numbers actually drop. And so, yeah. Hello, YouTube man. Hello. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any broad expectations here. I really don't. Like, the reason I don't is because nobody knows what's going to happen for earnings. Nobody does. I certainly don't. The only people that really know are insiders within the company themselves. I truly have no idea what we're going to look at for earnings, how the stock's going to move, what the stock's going to react to it. I cover all the big reports. And again, one thing that you'll see that's pretty consistent in terms of, like, we cover broad stock market news here on this channel. And so again, we're going to put it in sub-only mode with that said. And so again, if you want to help support the channel, great way to do it is to subscribe. We just put it in sub-only mode. But again, you'll see, like, with my channel here, we cover all, like, the big stock market stuff. Like, we cover the Cybertruck delivery event we covered. We had thousands of people here. Powell speeches, we had thousands of people here, you know. CPI inflation data, PCE data, NVIDIA earnings. We got like 22,000 views for that one. You know what I mean? The Fed minutes report, we cover CPI, PPI, jobless claims data, Jerome Powell press conferences. Like, we cover all the big market news, including earnings. We covered NVIDIA earnings last time. This time, all right, again, 10 minutes, guys, 10 minutes. AI will beat narrow loss. Yeah, we'll see. Again, I hope it does. All right, so C3 breaking back over the 200 EMA. Where is Bitcoin going to end the year, team? You know, I did a poll. What's really interesting, I did a poll a couple weeks ago asking whether Bitcoin was going to close this year over 40K, and everybody said no, and it looks like we're finally going to hit that. It looks like we're getting pretty close to that now. C3 moving up a little bit now. Is this from earnings? Not yet, I don't think. AI is like crypto highs and lows. Yeah. Yeah, C3 over the 200 EMA looks good. We're starting to get a little bit more attention here. I hope we get some more people here. I mean, typically C3AI hit or miss earnings wise. My name is John H. So my name is John. I appreciate the love, Hitesh. When charting stocks, should one use the pre-after market moves when using indicators like EMA? I do typically, Solomon. Everybody's different though, but I typically am one that likes to use, like I usually go with pre-market data, because pre-market data is the most recent data a lot of the time. Even if it's not full volume, like market order volume, it's still it's useful. Is the easiest way to put it. Again, C3, we're still sitting here waiting. We got 5 minutes here, team. 5 minutes. All right, guys, 5 minutes here, team. I'm ready. All right, let me switch my headphones out. Make sure y'all can hear the music when I play it. Dude, I hurt my wrist in jiu-jitsu, man. My wrist is like torqued. All right, let's fix this. All right, can y'all hear the music now? All right, C3AI consolidating a little bit. We're almost here for the earnings call, guys, for C3. We're almost here. Oh, wait, can y'all hear the music? Test, test, sound check, 1 2 1 2. Here, let me fix it. There we go. All right, C3AI dipping down to 2950s right now, 2950s. Typically, C3 ran a little bit their last earnings call. I'm trying to remember if it did or not. GameStop here is still sitting at 1440s, pretty quiet. Top 3 stocks at the moment. I don't necessarily have like favorites per se. I typically like skill issue. Combat sports are hard on the body. Disemboxing my neck killing me for a week or two. Yeah, I mean I do pretty Like, I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu pretty regularly, but anybody that trains it understands, like, it hurts sometimes. Like, you're gonna hurt yourself sometimes. The last like couple days, this hand, like my, oh look, C3 is out here. C3 is out. Look at this dip. Whoa, big pullback on C3AI. They are out with their numbers. C3AI is out with their numbers, and they are down a lot. They posted a loss per share for the second quarter of 59 cents. 59-cent loss per share. They posted revenue of $73.2 million, which is actually their largest revenue quarter ever. But they posted a loss per share of 59 cents. That's much bigger than the expected loss per share of 18 cents. So again, much bigger than the expected loss per share of 18 cents a share. They posted 59 cents a share for C3AI versus 18-cent loss per share expected. Revenue of 74 to 78 million for the third quarter guidance. I'm not sure what they were expecting here, but C3 is down on this report. They missed for C3. I'll put these numbers up so you guys can see it. But C3AI posted a quarter two loss per share of 59 cents and revenue of 73.2 million. They see third quarter revenue here as well. We're going to put this up so you guys can see it. Fiscal year revenue of 295 to 320 million. So again, we'll see if these guidance numbers help it. All right. Put this up on screen so you guys can see it. But again, big dips, big drops here. Real quick, guys, can y'all hear the music real quick before I walk off for the earnings call? Can y'all hear the music? All right, team. Here, you guys ready for the earnings call? Are you really gonna try that with me, bro? Like, come on now. I smell a trap. Okay, good. Y'all hear the music. All right, so here's the earnings call. We're gonna get ready to start this now. All right, so again, we're going to get ready to start the earnings. We're going to mute this. Make sure we get the call going here. All right, so they haven't actually started the call yet, so they're late on this too, bro. Bro, I hope they're not too late. All right, so again, we're sitting on hold, waiting for the call to start. Bear with me. All right, again, team, we're kind of sitting tight waiting for the call to start, so just chill. I like C3AI's call, though. John reported. Hey, we're covering it, guys. Again, we got to just sit here and wait. Again, we're waiting for the call to start here, team. We're waiting. We're being patient. We got to wait for the call to start. So, we're sitting on hold. Don't worry. All right, please don't start some more music. Come on, bro. Come on, C3. Just start the call. We're waiting here, guys. Call should be starting anytime now. It was scheduled for 5. It's now past 5. Of course, they reported their earnings basically 40 minutes. They reported their earnings basically an hour late. So, I mean, I'm not sure when they're going to I'm not sure when they're going to actually do their earnings call, but we're sitting here waiting. Again, they were about an hour late with their earnings. So, who knows when this is going to start, bro. All right, so we're sitting back, rocking out to old acoustic music. Sounds pretty good. I like it. All right, so C3AI testing lows again. Bro, please don't start super late, C3AI. Like, we're waiting on the call to start now, team. Again, we're waiting for the call to start. Again, we're waiting for the call. They're just late again. Bro. Again, we're here. We're waiting, guys. They haven't started it yet. Like, honestly, I like C3AI, but this is making me want to never cover their earnings again. All right, team. Again, will C3AI move up from this? Let's take a look. Here's C3AI. They're down at 29 or 26.90s. All right, team. We're sitting around. All right, C3AI, bro. How long does it take to operate an earnings call, C3? I'm not trying to be critical, but like, typically companies can be late reporting their earnings. But dropping the actual earnings call is a different freaking story here. Like, again, we're sitting here waiting. I use Quant Tower, Jesse, is what I use. Again, I use Quant Tower. Yeah. John wants a nap. I'm just getting impatient here, man. Again, here's the problem. All right, like I'm sitting here waiting for the earnings call to start, and they're playing the same song in the same strum pattern on a guitar over and over and over again. All right, they're doing it over and over and over and over again, and I'm trying to report the news like a good media person here, but like, but it's just happening over and over and over again. Forever, you know? Over and over and over and over again. I don't want to sip the coffee because then I'll never be able to go to sleep. But this is getting outrageous here. Your reaction to these earnings is priced in? Yeah, I mean, C3 is pretty quiet. It's under 27 here. We're waiting for the earnings call to start. Again, I'm sorry we can't play music. And again, people are going to get so impatient. It's not just me. It's like people tuning into my stream. Like we had 430 people here when the call was supposed to start. We're now almost 10 minutes late. People are leaving. They're getting bored. And so it's bad business too. Ball puts a closing time to get paid in the morning. Yeah, and I hope C3 goes up. I really do. But like this is taking too long. All right, look, I'm going to tell you this. If C3AI takes over another 5 minutes to report, I'm probably just going to close it down. I don't have time to wait for an hour. I got stuff I'm supposed to do today. And so, again, if too long goes past, I'm about to just shut this down, and I'll give you guys the link. Y'all can wait for it. Again, I partially blame the hold music. They're playing it over and over and over again. Ugh. Yeah, so again, I'm writing this on Twitter. AI is the only company out of dozens this quarter that have been this late. Uh, that have been this late. On their earnings call. Can't be a positive sign, in my opinion. Again, we're waiting here, guys. We got the wait. We're waiting here, but I'm gonna reset just in case like something's going on with this. Yeah, I find it odd. Very rarely do companies do this. All right, here they go. Now they're finally starting.
Good day, and thank you for standing by. Welcome to the C3AI second quarter fiscal year 24 conference call. At this time, all participants are on listen-only mode. After the speaker's presentations, there'll be a question-and-answer session. To ask a question during the session, you need to press star 11 on your telephone. Please be advised that today's call is being recorded. I will now turn the conference over to your host, Mr. Amit Berry. Please begin.
Good afternoon, and welcome to C3AI's earnings call for the second quarter of fiscal year 2024, which ended on October 31st, 2023. My name is Amit Berry, and I lead investor relations at C3AI. With me on the call today is Tom Siebel, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, and Juho Parkkinen, Chief Financial Officer. After the market closed today, we issued a press release with details regarding our second quarter results, as well as a supplemental to our results, both of which can be accessed through the investor relations section of our website at ir.c3.ai. This call is being webcast, and a replay will be available on our IR website following the conclusion of the call. During today's call, we will make statements related to our business that may be considered forward-looking under federal securities laws. These statements reflect our views only as of today and should not be considered representative of our views as of any subsequent date. We disclaim any obligation to update any forward-looking statement or outlook. These statements are subject to a variety of risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from expectations. For a further discussion of the material risks and other important factors that could affect our actual results, please refer to our filings with the SEC. All figures will be discussed on a non-GAAP basis unless otherwise noted. Also, during the course of today's call, we will refer to certain non-GAAP financial measures. A reconciliation of GAAP to non-GAAP measures is included in our press release. Finally, at times in our prepared remarks, in response to your questions, we may discuss metrics that are incremental to our usual presentation to give greater insight into the dynamics of our business or our quarterly results. Please be advised that we may or may not continue to provide this additional detail in the future. And with that, let me turn the call over to Tom.
Thank you, Amit. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our call today. Results. Bottom line, we continue to accelerate our revenue growth and our customer engagement count, and continue to gain traction with C3 Generative AI and our enterprise AI applications in the second quarter. Total revenue for the second quarter was $73.2 million, an increase of 17% compared to $62.4 million 1 year ago, and accelerating from an 11% increase in the first quarter. The total number of customer engagements was 404, an increase of 81% compared to 223 last quarter. North American revenue of $61.2 million increased 28% year over year, while EMEA revenue of $10.6 million decreased 11% year over year, and federal revenue increased 100% year over year. Subscription revenue for the quarter was $66.4 million, constituting 91% of total revenue and increasing 12% from a year ago. GAAP gross profit for the quarter was $41.1 million, representing a 56% gross margin. Our non-GAAP gross profit for the quarter was $50.4 million, representing a 69% non-GAAP gross margin. Our GAAP net loss per share was the loss was 59 cents, and non-GAAP net loss per share was 13 cents. We ended the quarter with $762.3 million in cash equivalents, and investments. C3AI's partner ecosystem continues to drive significant growth. In Q2, the company closed 40 agreements through our partner network, including AWS, Booz Allen, Baker Hughes, Google Cloud, and Microsoft. The qualified opportunity pipeline with partners has increased by 75% in the past year. We signed new and expanded agreements with Nucor Corporation, Roche, Con Edison, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, GSK, formerly SmithKline, the United States Navy, the Administration for Children and Families, the Division of Health and Human Services, Indorama, and First Bank, amongst others. Over the past several months, C3AI has helped Nucor, the largest steel producer in the United States, to better optimize caster production schedules, specifically to improve production levels and reduce cost levels in the steel casting process. C3AI is now helping Nucor scale this across several additional mills. In Q2, C3AI also kicked off 2 new additional use cases at Nucor, tackling process optimization and demand forecasting, and we also completed a C3 generative AI pilot targeting operational health and safety. GSK, formerly GlaxoSmithKline, is now using C3AI Supply Chain Suite to increase efficiency in its supply chain, using AI to optimize yield and improve demand forecasting processes. Con Edison, a C3 customer since 2017, continues to expand its use of the C3 AI applications, most recently by adding C3 Generative AI. Con Ed is using C3 Generative AI to help workers quickly find answers to questions and analyses related to smart meters, service levels, and infrastructure data. In the second quarter, Con Edison completed 2 pilots of C3 Generative AI, which have now converted to production. We also continue to expand our footprint in state and local governments, with particular interest in C3AI law enforcement from San Mateo County, California, and C3AI residential property appraisal from Stark County, Ohio, and Charlotte County, Florida. Our federal business continues to show significant strength, with bookings up 187% year over year. We closed new and expanded deals with the United States Navy, the intelligence community, Joint Staff J8, the Defense Logistics Agency, and the Administration for Children and Families. We've talked many times about our successes in helping to modernize the Department of Defense, and we're proud now to say that our products are helping civilian government agencies as well. This quarter, we began work with the Administration for Children and Families, a division of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The agreement with C3AI was part of their first order under a $90 million blanket purchase agreement. And this part of ACF's work involves helping unaccompanied children who cross the U.S. border find temporary shelter and permanent homes. Our platform will be used in complex modeling and predictive analytics at ACF to help them keep track of the number of unaccompanied children in the agency's care, staffing needs, and determine how long these children are with their case managers, amongst other tasks. C3AI continues to leverage its extensive commercial supply chain experience in the federal government. It is now applying this experience to the defense sector with the C3AI contested logistics application for Transcom and for DLA. During the quarter, C3AI converted 2 Defense Logistics Agency pilots into follow-on projects for the Department of Defense. The first project delivers a common operating picture of the supply chain for DoD and enables leaders at multiple echelons to see in near real time their global Class 9 supply posture. The application unifies disparate supply data and provides the Defense Logistics Agency the ability to identify supply chain inefficiencies, forecast parts consumption and parts shortage, and conduct impact assessments and put into place mitigation plans. The second project supports DLA's Energy Directorate, leveraging C3AI's commercial expertise in the oil and gas sector. The C3AI contested logistics application modernizes and streamlines global fuel distribution for the Department of Defense. Users can see global fuel inventories, anticipate fuel consumption, identify supply network risks, and create distribution and transportation plans to prevent disruption and assure supply. These applications promise to significantly impact the efficiency of the Department of Defense logistic enterprise and improve readiness. Our partnership with AWS deepened with an expanded strategic collaboration agreement in the quarter, and the availability of our new no-code, self-service generative AI application, C3 Generative AI, now available on the AWS Marketplace. I think we announced that last week. This new application allows users of all technical levels to begin using generative AI within minutes of signing up. And this application, C3 Generative AI, is now available to you on the AWS Marketplace under a 14-day free trial. And so I encourage you to take a look at it for those of you who are interested. Under the expanded collaboration agreement with AWS, we're focusing on offering advanced generative AI solutions combined with what they're doing in Bedrock, and other initiatives for enterprises and for AI applications for customers in multiple verticals, including manufacturing, power and utilities, consumer packaged goods, state and local government, and the federal government. C3AI and AWS's joint qualified pipeline has more than doubled year over year, with heightened interest in the C3 Generative AI suite. In Q2, C3AI has been recognized multiple times for its innovation in the AI space. We've been named to the Fortune 50 AI Innovators list, and the list kind of goes on and on. So I'm not going to belabor that. We get recognized all the time. Pilot growth, this is important. In Q2, we closed 62 agreements, including 36 pilots and trials. Our new pilot count is up 270% from a year ago. Notably, 20 of these were generative AI pilots, a 150% increase from Q1. With the lower entry price points of our pilots, we are more easily able to land new accounts. With our pilots, we're engaging customers across a diverse set of industries. In this quarter, our pilots came from manufacturing, federal, defense, aerospace, pharmaceuticals, and other industries. Now, we did see sales headwinds in the quarter. While the interest in AI applications, and especially generative AI, is growing substantially, we're also seeing, in many cases, lengthening decision cycles. Virtually every company okay, in the last 3 to 6 months, has created a new AI governance function as part of its decision-making process. These AI governance functions assess and approve those AI applications that will be allowed to be installed in the enterprise. This has candidly added a step to the decision process in AI. You might have heard it here first, okay, but you will be hearing this from every AI vendor, okay, in the next few quarters. Take it to the bank. It has added a step to the process. It is lengthening the normal sales cycle. So this had this provided a sales headwind in the quarter, okay? And while the increased scrutiny lengthens the sales process, we believe that this is a healthy process to ensure that companies are adopting safe and appropriate AI solutions. So we're all for it, okay? And did it move revenue a little bit, a click below the center of the range? Yeah, it did, okay? But get over it. The world's a better place. People are making very careful, well-informed decisions. They have their best people on it, and we will all be happier for this in the long run. Okay, so it did, that dynamic did provide an unexpected headwind to our Q2 sales revenue performance. In addition, our sales execution in Europe was candidly unacceptable. Okay, and since then we've been through our planning meetings, and we've taken appropriate organizational steps to immediately improve sales execution in Europe. Now let's take a look at, this is the big story, this is the top line, okay? And really what this whole story has been about for the last 6 or 7 quarters has been from the transition from subscription-based pricing to consumption-based pricing. And before we switched to consumption-based pricing, you'll recall the company was growing at quite a rapid growth rate, like I think 7 quarters ago, order of 38% year-over-year growth rate. So we were definitely in the top quartile. Okay, and we announced the transition to consumption-based pricing that we believed would be and has become the standard in the industry. Okay, the consumption-based pricing is based upon per virtual CPU or virtual GPU hour, similar to the pricing at Snowflake, Google Cloud, AWS, Microsoft Azure, etc. Prior to this, we were doing large enterprise subscription deals of $1 million, $5 million, $20 million, $50 million. And, it was a good business. That being said, the downside of that model was lumpiness in bookings, lengthy sales cycles, and low levels of revenue predictability. We believe the transition from a primarily subscription-based pricing model to a consumption-based pricing model brought us into line with what we believe are today the industry standard cloud pricing standards, making it easier and less costly for new customers to acquire our solutions and then increase their spending as their usage and adoption increase. We anticipated and announced when we made that transition that it would have a short to medium negative effect on revenue growth, a long-term drag on RPO as the sales price was significantly reduced and the contracts often lacked a time-certain multi-period commitment. We believed when we made the announcement that the consumption-based pricing model would increase the number of customers, and increase the total amount of system consumption, resulting in a return to increased revenue growth, increased customer growth, decreased average selling price, and decreased RPO over time. Now, while we were still in the process of working completely through this transition to the new pricing model, the preliminary empirical results that we are seeing, evidenced by year-over-year growth rates, appear to be proving out exactly as expected and exactly as we predicted. Since the transition, revenue growth initially decreased, then it flattened, and now it is increasing as the consumption-based pricing model takes effect. Average selling prices decreased, RPO has decreased, customer engagement has increased substantially. If we look back over the last, say, 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, 4 quarters ago, our revenue growth was -4% and then 0%. Last quarter it was 11%, now it's 17%. Bookings growth, 71% year over year. Bookings growth, 100% year over year. New contract growth, 148% year over year. Okay, pilot growth 50% quarter over quarter, 170% year over year. So this is basically the beginning, the middle, and the end of this story. Okay, we announced 6-7 quarters ago a transition to our consumption-based pricing. We predicted that revenue would decline and then flatten and then increase, and we are now seeing these increases that we predicted. So now let's talk about generative AI. Generative AI simply changes everything. Okay, I believe that it more than doubles the size of our addressable market overnight. We've all seen the predictions, from Bloomberg that predicts this is 100. This is in excess of $1.3 trillion market by 2032. Goldman Sachs predicts that this could increase corporate profits by 30% in the next decade, and that generative AI alone could raise the global GDP by 7%. People, this is a big deal. Okay, it is difficult to overestimate the levels of interest that we're seeing in the category of generative AI. Now, by combining our multi-billion-dollar, say 14-year investment in the C3AI platform with the recent developments in large language models and retrieval augmented generation, C3AI is unique in the market, and that we are able to solve the disqualifying hobgoblins that are preventing the adoption of generative AI, in government, in defense, intelligence, in the private sector. What are those hobgoblins? Okay, those are the facts that the answers that come out of these large language models are stochastic. They're random. They're not traceable. We have this hallucination problem, which is extraordinarily problematic. Okay, we have research. None of our data access controls yet, be it DoD or Bank of America, are enforced. We have these problems with LLM-caused data exfiltration, LLM-caused cyber threats, and IP liability. Okay, in addition, all the solutions that are out there, almost all those solutions, I would say, with the exception of AWS Bedrock, tend to be LLM specific. And I don't think anybody wants to be LLMs, hook their wagon onto any given LLM today with all the innovation that's going on in the market, and to be dependent on any LLM provider that could, make some announcement on Friday and be gone on Monday. See OpenAI for details. So, this LLM agnostic is clear. So the bottom line is our solution in the market addresses every one of those hobgoblins that prevent the installation of generative AI in the enterprise. And so this is really unique. And it took 14 years and $2 billion worth of software engineering for us to be ready for this. This is why we can solve it. So while the rest of the world is playing catch up, okay, we're how about multimodal? I mean, we completely nail multimodal. We've been doing it for 14 years. Multimodal, what does this mean? Rather than all these LLM solutions basically handle text. Okay, we handle text, we handle telemetry, we handle images, we handle signals. We handle enterprise data, we handle structured data, we handle unstructured data. So we are unique in the market, and the result is quite exciting. So while the rest of the world is playing catch up, and we have scores of of startups, with 3 guys, 4 girls, and 2 cats in an apartment in San Francisco getting billion-dollar funding and multi-billion-dollar market valuations. See pitch book for details. Okay, we have I don't know how many customers. We have an order of 1,000 employees, and I don't know how many countries, and we're delivering these solutions today. Okay. And so while the rest of the world is playing catch up, we're working closely with our customers and new customers to install high-value generative AI solutions that rapidly realize value to their organizations. Okay, we believe that our strategic decision to invest in generative AI could address our addressable market opportunity. Our suite of 28, now I think 29, generative AI products wins on reliability, flexibility, adaptability, accuracy, and security. Okay, all of the same qualities that are inherent in our enterprise AI platform.
Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right there. This guy, I mean, no offense to him, but he's kind of rambling. If you want to catch this earnings call yourself, I will report it here so you guys can see how you report it. Here's the C3 investor relations site. there is the second quarter earnings. We just put it up in chat. I'm going to get out of here, guys. And again, if you haven't already, check out my sponsors. Check out Top Step, funded account program, and futures. If you want to learn to day trade with less risk, try a funded account program. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. But if you're good enough to pass it, the reward is very similar to putting up the money up yourself. You get a 90% split once you're funded. They have free funding coaches, tons of great resources. So just taking these challenges builds your skill. Although I am biased, of course, because they're a sponsor of mine and they pay me money. But if you want to check them out, here is the link. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Y'all be safe. Be good. We'll be back tomorrow early. We got jobless claims, unemployment filings bright and early tomorrow morning. And then Friday, we've got non-farm payrolls and unemployment data. So it's a pretty big day. Friday, biggest day of the week. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.